everybody, welcome to the most must-see YouTube wrestling show you ever did see, starting today. Yeah, that's right. You got it right. You're at the right place at the right time. This is Richard Knows Best, starring your boy, the Turkish sensation, the sweeping the nation. How you doing? So, WrestleMania season is almost over. This is the time I hate. WrestleMania season is almost over. We have technically two more stops. That is tonight on Monday Night Raw, probably the most exciting Monday Night Raw of the entire year. For any wrestling fan, it's a must-see. For me, I'm pumped, I'm excited, I'm definitely going to check it out, not thinking twice about it. It's definitely up there with one of the most exciting things of this entire week that I look forward to every year. So that's going to happen tonight on the USA Network. Y'all should check it out. I highly recommend it. And then SmackDown the next night, also on the USA Network. Cheap plug. So today's show is basically, it's going to be a quick show. I'm just going to run down a few things that I think are predictions that could happen. Some of it's probably a little bit out there as long shots to happen tonight, but I see some of these things actually happening just because it's the WWE. See my little list here. Alright, so with that being said, let me get right to it. And before I do that, my son actually brought me these. He didn't do it on purpose. John Cena, The Undertaker, little finger puppets. Bam. What happened at WrestleMania last night? Something. Let me sum it up like this. Boom! He's got Cena! Tombstone! So that was that. I mean, there's some other things that happened, obviously, but it was a very, very short, impromptu match. Undertaker's entrance coming out was actually longer than the match itself, which is to be expected in this day and age. But let's get down to the Monday Night Raw predictions. I just wrote down 10 things for each, so I'm just going to run quickly through them. These are in no particular order. The first thing I think would happen on Raw tonight is Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Try saying that real fast. It's not easy. She's done with Stephanie as far as I can tell. She beat her last night. Hopefully that feud's over. Done. She can move on to bigger and better things in the form of 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss, who is no longer the Raw Women's Champion, and probably Mickie James as a little sidekick. So I think there'll be some kind of interaction program, something leading up to a match. I mean, there's not many of the choices on the Raw women's roster for Ronda Rousey, so I'm just going to go with that. Another thing, I just feel like John Cena needs to get attacked. I mean, that WrestleMania crowd, they want to see it. They would go crazy if anybody who attacks Cena, with the exception of probably Roman Reigns. So I say, let's return a guy that's been cleared to wrestle, a guy that, well, we all want to see come back, I think. Actually, I really don't care about him too much. He doesn't have that much talent, but he's okay for a big guy. So the guy I'm talking about, of course, is Big Cass. He's healed from his injury as far as I know, ready to come back to action. Why not have him come back, pick up where he left off as a heel, attack John Cena, and just see how it plays out? I'm okay with that. And what about another thing I think could happen? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're still fired on SmackDown, so why not have them show up to Monday Night Raw and create some havoc over there? Or maybe just be desperate to want to get some jobs. Kurt Angle, I'm sure, will hire him, right? There's no real legit beef there with them. So that could happen. I feel like there's always some kind of split with the tag team. So why not have Titus Worldwide break up? Why not? They're not doing anything meaningful. It's about time Apollo goes heel or something, because he's not making his face. It's just not happening. What about Samoa Joe returning tonight? I'm about 99.9% sure that's going to happen. The Samoan submission machine. The Samoan badass. Samoa Joe comes out and attacks another bad Samoan, Roman Reigns. Now the fans, that's the other guy the fans want to see beat the hell out of by anybody. And Joe, I think, maybe could be better suited as a face. I think the fans can get behind Samoa Joe. I know I can. I miss those chants, you know. Joe's gonna kill you. Joe's gonna kill you. Those TNA chants were awesome. Okay, this one I have a good hunch about. I just feel like it's perfect. At the during the Andre the Giant Memorial last night, we saw Woken Matt Hardy, and we saw Bray Wyatt come out to assist him in the end of that Andre Memorial, helping him win his first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And they sat there and hugged and all that stuff, so there's obviously a new alliance there. I like it, I do. And I think it's time for a tag team from the good old NXT to make their main roster debuts. I think it's time for some sanity. Oh yeah. Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf, the leader, EY, Eric Young, Showtime Eric Young. And of course you have Nikki Cross, the female of the group. That's one crazy group, I have to say. I guess they're named properly there. But what better team for them to debut and attack than those two crazies in Wyatt and Hardy? It just makes sense. It really does. That'd be an interesting feud. I think the fans are really getting invested in that one. Also, what about Ember Moon? She lost the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver. And I knew it was just about time for her to be called to the main roster because there's really not much else for her to do down there in NXT. I think she's ready. The Sheenam, I think she's ready. I really do. Actually, I know she's ready for the main roster. So why not have Ember Moon come out and maybe she can start slow, taking out Absolution. Nobody cares about them anyways. Or if you want to make her really have an impact, go after Nia Jax, but I don't know, because Nia Jax is starting to make her feel like she's a good guy. She's a face. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, but I can see that either one of those two situations playing out. Here's one that's out there. It may not happen probably, but it's something I'd like to see happen because I'm a big fan of his, and that is Curtis Axel of the Miztourage. I'm tired of seeing him be used as a lackey, a jobber. The dude's a former Intercontinental Champion and a third-generation superstar. We know about third-generation superstars. Most of them, and I do say most, are bred for success. You look at Randy Orton. Yeah. Need I say more? What about The Rock? I'm just saying. 2 third-generation superstars that are Hall of Famers. Well, Randy's definitely a future Hall of Famer. But yeah, I think that Curtis Axel needs to get separated from that group. I don't really care for Bo Dallas, but I think he should probably be separated too. Miz is good on his own. That Maurice is probably going to, if she wants to, be ready to come back soon. I mean, give her like a couple more weeks to heal from her pregnancy. And if she wants to, I'm sure she'll be back out there. Alright, the Intercontinental Championship. We have a new Intercontinental Champion. I called this one right. I got this prediction right on my show. Seth Rollins walked out with the IC title. So it makes me think, what's next for Seth Rollins? Now, I don't know if Jason Jordan is cleared, but wouldn't it be fitting for Jordan to come out sometime tomorrow night or tonight on Raw and, you know, kind of congratulate Seth Rollins only to attack him and beat the crap out of Seth Rollins, or maybe somehow convince him into a match, which I think is too soon for that, but Yeah, that would be awesome though. I'm not particularly big on Jason Jordan, but I do think the kid's got a lot of talent. For sure. Alright, now this leads me to my number one thing that I know for a fact is going to happen. I'll bet any amount of money on it. I know this is going to happen. I just had that feeling deep down inside. I know it's going to happen. And it's probably going to be the final segment of the show for Raw tonight. So get ready. If you're a fan of his, then you'll want to tune in. Brock Lesnar is still the WWE Universal Champion. So you know, Lesnar and Heyman are going to be out there running their mouths like they always freaking do. Like a broken freaking record. No one wants to hear that crap. I know I don't. And I speak for a lot of people, I'm sure. But it's going to happen. You're sitting there. You're staring at me. You're watching me. You're waiting for me to tell you what's going to happen. Is that what it is? Well, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Tonight on Raw, their victory celebration is going to be interrupted by the one and only Walking Armageddon, Bobby freaking Lashley. You want high ratings, you want a good bang to end the show, that's what you do. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I guarantee you. On to the SmackDown side of things. Alright, I'm going to run through these real quick. I couldn't think of too much. I mean, it is a shorter show, so there's less talent, but a couple of things I could see happening, which I'm about like... Some of these I'm kind of like 5% to about, say, 50% sure they're going to happen. So they may not. Take it with a grain of salt. But I just, some things I thought of. First three of these are just basically people I could see debuting. I think Drew McIntyre's been sitting on the shelf too long. The self-proclaimed chosen one by Vince McMahon could very well see his return to the blue brand. I could also see Jeff Hardy return, the charismatic enigma. If he's not needed on Raw, why not bring him over to SmackDown? Let him do his singles career. He did good by himself for many years. I don't see why not. He's ready to go, from what I've heard. And another guy, I thought it was a foregone conclusion he was going to be on either Raw or SmackDown at the end of NXT TakeOver, but after watching NXT TakeOver and him winning his job back, I can only be talking about Mr. Johnny Gargano, aka Johnny Wrestling. I'd love to see him called up to the main roster, but he won his job back, so it would kind of be, pointless to have him win that match if he isn't going to stay around. So, as much as I'd like to see it, I'm not 100% sure on that. Like I said, on Raw side, there's usually a breakup of some sort. For SmackDown, I got Breezango finally breaking up. I mean, sure, their skits are entertaining at times, but I mean, they kind of played its course, in my opinion. So I think it's about time you separate them and let them try to go their singles way again. You got way too many tag teams clustered over there on the blue brand anyway, so that's my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. I feel like Jinder Mahal will lose the U.S. title to someone. The guy I go with on this is Rusev, just because of how over he is right now and how much the fans would definitely eat into it if he did win the title. So I can see it happening. Will it happen? That remains to be seen. I'd like to see it happen, but there I go. I'm not booking the show. So I feel like there's some kind of story coming up. Now that Kevin and Sammy are gone, I hope we can focus on taking, like, Daniel Bryan relinquishing his general manager duties, because he doesn't need to be GM anymore now that he obviously still has it. He put on one heck of a show at Mania. He definitely still has it. So let him return to be a wrestler full-time for now. And then why not have a big name return to take that role as general manager? I've heard rumblings and rumors that they were in talks with a certain legend. Oh, I don't know. A guy that likes to say his prayers and take his vitamins.
Something, maniacs. I might return on SmackDown Live, dudes, but I'm not going to be a wrestler anymore, brother. I'm too old for that. But I can be a GM, and I can lay down the law of the land, brothers. Oh, and Hulkamania. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when Hulkamania and the millions of Hulkamaniacs run wild on you, brother? What you gonna do?
So what if Hulk Hogan came back as general manager? That would be awesome. I mean, I'd like it. I'm not a huge Hulk fan, but I think I'd get pretty excited about it. I mean, I was a big Hulkamaniac growing up. So, there is that. I mean, I'm definitely down for that if that happens. Andrade Cien Almas, former NXT World Champion, and his valet, Zelina Vega, a.k.a. Mrs. Austin Aries. Just throwing it out there. Debut. And I can see them making an impact. Why not go after one of the biggest names on SmackDown Live? DB, the guy I just talked about, Daniel Bryan. I think those two could put on a pretty exciting match if they really were allowed the time and day, Daniel Bryan's, Andrade Cien Almas. Zelina Vega there on the outside being the distraction that she is. It could work. It could work. And if you wanted to involve Brie Bella, to even things out, why not? Good work. Just saying. Alright, and I got 3 more things to talk about, and then I'm done. I'm going to wrap it up. So, I've been thinking about this long and hard, and I just see it happening. It's going to happen. The Authors of Pain, Akam, Razor, and their manager, the legendary Paul Ellering, will debut. And they won't start with the Usos, because I see the AOP and Usos being a pretty big feud down the line. I'd see those 4 guys putting on some decent matches, but I'm going to start with the New Day. They got to start somewhere, so let's let them start with the New Day. They debut and they attack the New Day. That's making a statement, if I ever heard of it. And then I think it's about time. It's about time. Bobby Roode has to turn back heel. He has to be bad again. That, in my opinion, seeing him as a face and as a heel over the years, he's definitely portrayed a heel a lot better than he's portrayed a face. Really one of the top 10, maybe top 5, best heels in all of professional wrestling as far as playing that role to a T. Bobby Roode has done an amazing job. I think you need to turn him back to that and have him beat the crap out of Randy Orton. Fans get behind him, behind Orton, just because of who he is. And the last thing I want to talk about. So I got this one wrong on my predictions. I still believe it's going to happen. I still believe it should have happened. But WWE went a different route. They went with Charlotte ending Asuka's streak, which shocked the heck out of me. Didn't see that coming at WrestleMania. But I guess New Orleans is a place where streaks come to die. So, you know where I'm going. And if you don't, you're about to know where I'm going. Carmella cashes in the Money in the Bank contract and takes home the SmackDown Live Women's Championship against, well, it won't be technically against Charlotte Flair, but she'll take it from Charlotte Flair. She'll probably have a match with someone, and get attacked. After the match, Carmella comes out at the right time, with the right opportunity in mind. Briefcase, boom, new women's champion. Bada boom, bada bing, realest girl in the room. How you doing? Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. I just don't see. I see her cashing in the contract. I can see it happening on SmackDown, but on Raw it just doesn't make sense. And it's not really that exciting either. Carmella and Alexa Bliss, both bad. It wouldn't be a very entertaining feud. And then Carmella and Nia Jax. Nah, it's not that exciting. It could happen, but it's not that exciting. So those are my thoughts, predictions, and what have you of what's going to happen tonight on Raw and SmackDown, the go-home shows for WrestleMania. The go-home shows for after WrestleMania. Maybe I should correct that. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. You know how that works out. And I am going to get a video posted, if not today, probably tomorrow. I'm going to find a match from WrestleMania. I'm thinking Styles and Nakamura. And I'm going to do my color commentary for the match. I didn't actually hear any of the color commentary for any of the WrestleMania matches, so I'm not sure how good or bad any of them were, because I was there live and I saw it, so obviously we didn't hear the color commentary yet. And I still want to do my own color commentary regardless, so keep a lookout for that video. That, my friends, will be episode 4. We're going on up to the promised land. Like it, comment it, subscribe to it. Definitely subscribe to it. If you know what's good for you, you better subscribe to it. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. I'm no Ric Flair, but just saying. So, with that being said, keep watching for my videos. I'm gonna roll on out of here. But before I do, I've got one last thing to say to each and every one of you tonight. And I've been thinking, and I've come up with a name for all my legions of fans out there. And I'm gonna call y'all. Drum roll, please. The Rich Meisters. So to all my Rich Meisters out there, I love you. Keep supporting your boy, and your boy will do you proud. No doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. But here's the thing. Take a look. Take a close-up look of your boy. Because I want you all to take a look at greatness. Because greatness is looking at you. I'm out.